A long time ago, in the far-flung year of 2024, someone actually donated real money. And when I inquired what they wanted in return, they said long cast. And when I said, have you got a favourite map you would like me to do one on, they said Setons Clutch. Great choice. I then, as a man of my word, ghosted him like a thought after a quick pump and dump. Not my finest moment. So on the off chance that you have managed to survive the great tariff wars of 2025 so far, this one is for you, my dude. So grab yourself a nice Easter egg to chew on, get yourself a nice cup of tea, and try to ignore my breathing issues, as once again I am quite ill, and let's sit down and enjoy a very long, hopefully satisfying Setons Clutch. As you can see, the rating level is quite high. It's quite a mixed group, which is always nice to see. Let's go around and introduce our players. Down here we've got Delhi, 2k rated. He's on the rock position. He should be carrying from here. He actually went land factory first, which isn't 100%, but he's going for that transport rush early. Down here we've got the highest rated player, almost, but highest player on team 2. That is Nuggets. Now Nuggets is a very aggressive player. He is known for dropping off McDonald's chicken nuggets, 6 nuggets at a time actually, into your base and having them build PD. It's his favorite tactic. Can be quite, as soon as your ACU leaves the base, he will drop 6 chicken nuggets in your base and build PD. Quite annoying to deal with. And he is actually going for the rare tournament approved triple ACU in mid. That's quite rare. We really don't see that very often. Down here we've got Printer in a Seraphim ACU in blue. He's going for air. That's first bomber, right? No. First NG, second bomber. That's very aggressive. All of Team 2 going for very aggressive plays here. We've also got a first Medusa. So, very aggressive, except for Delhi, who didn't get the message. He's going for the pacifist approach. Now, on the top here, we've got Nether Earth. Now, not a player I know. He is reclaiming the trees. It looks like he's reclaiming the single trees, so that is a bit unfortunate. They don't actually give much E. He's going for an eco build. At the back, we've got Demo. This is a French player. It looks like a French name. Don't see him too much in my games, but he seems to be making all the right moves, reclaiming he's building E only. This is a slightly cursed placement, but I guess that's just the where the terrain is. At the front, we've got Silent Bug from the Double Penetration clan. He's walking to mid, and he's going to run into this Medusa here. So we'll see if... wow, that's a lot of Medusas. Microchip here, I didn't cover him, but he's actually being extremely aggressive. He is the lowest rated player, so... it's in his interest to be aggressive, because the longer this game goes on, he simply is not going to beat Silent Bug in a late game match. It's just the way it is. Coming to assist Silent Bug here is going to be Escalation. I happen to have it on good authority that this amalgamation of letters is in fact you. Not obviously you watching, but him, the player you, not you.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
You!
Yes?
Not you, him! What's your name?
Me.
Yes, you!
I am me. He's me. And I'm you.
So the total mass accrued, Team 2 miles behind, and I think that's because of the aggression of the first bomber, which has 4 kills actually. Maybe we actually need to split already. That's quite surprising. So we've got bombers here, and Silent Bug is actually getting artied. That is a shame that this is not being microed. If you are going to go out of your way to rush a bomber, you do definitely need to get the value out of it. 5 kills so far. Looks like he's trying to just hide, but he's been locked, so that's not going to do anything. Let's make sure the map is back up for you guys, because I know you like to watch the map. I can't always keep track of everything. Moving these into view like that, not necessarily a great plan, but we put it back on Silent Bug's view. He does want to chase them. Honestly, the hentai sound mod, I hated it, but it kind of doesn't get old now. It's find it quite funny every time. So we've got bomber spam from Delhi. We'll see what he can get with those. But Silent Bug is in real trouble. Microchip has just gone for aggression. And he's done really well with that. He's managed to push Silent Bug back. And he's kept the income at the same. If he manages to take this, unfortunately they're not dealing with you here, who is hoovering up the mass. But he could definitely control K for an easy kill right now. And an 1100 for an 1800. It's a pretty good trade, boys. If you're an 1800 in a big game, you need to think carefully about whether you decide to do that, because it's not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, if you want to get better at the game long term, you probably want to try and play it out and learn from your mistakes. But there's some Tech 1 bombing going on the map over here. We will go and check that out, because I don't think you is going to die here. Oh, that's a lot of damage he just took. Holy Jesus. Down to 3k, both of them. So that com bomb, Microchip could com bomb right now and kill both of them, and the game would be over. That's how powerful that strategy is. But it doesn't look like he's gonna do that. If I was having a bad day after work, someone pissed me off in the lobby, these two, they're getting blown up. That's for sure. Some teammate steals my mexes. I tell you what, they're getting blown up. Now, Medusas against Strikers, not going to go well for the Medusas. So, we'll see what Microchip can do with this pressure, because he's obviously given up a lot of advantage on his eco in order to do this. He hasn't gone all in with it. So, definitely some dead engineers here. Space is not anywhere near as developed as you might think. Delhi is going to push his advantage on air. It's microing these. Obviously, this is a 2k versus a 1200, so we wouldn't really expect the 1200 to out micro this. But looks like he's going to get away with it. Delhi just retreats. He's trying to protect his bomber over here. We'll scroll back down to here. So Silent Bug is going for a upgrade. Now, can Microchip see this? No, he has no idea. A scout factory right now, he could trade with both of them. It is a 3v2 in the middle. So Nuggets came here, but he actually achieved nothing with that. He didn't kill anything. So he's probably slightly behind in air, but considering he's a 2200 versus a 1200, probably not going to get punished. More engineers getting picked off. You are losing his engineers. That sounds so awful. So, Tech 2 upgrade done. Now gun being started. He can actually afford that. No, he's going to stall, right? Yeah, he's definitely going to stall. How long will he stall for? He's just going to suffer. He's not going to pause anything. But, that's pretty significant. He's actually pretty beefy right now. Hard to deal with. Microchip is going to go around the side. Now, there are basically Tech 2 mexes here that he can lose. He's going to lose a Tech 1 already. Silent Bug AFK with his ACU. I would expect him to build some PDs and then push out with his gun. But we'll see. Yeah, oh, line of PDs. I'm a genius. So this is probably going to end up being a mass donation, because this forces there's too many Tech 1 arties and not enough Mantis. Kill off this T2 Mex and retreat is probably his best option. Which he does. That's pretty smart. I don't know how many he'll lose. Meanwhile, on the top, Delhi is absolutely cooking you. He's got air all over the place. He keeps killing the engineers. This is a lot of pressure early on. He's rallying in Tech 1 bombers and frigates. The South Pond looks much more chill. It's just a printer. He can actually use this to kill these mexes. He could... This is AFK as well. This is going Tech 2. So if he scouts that, killing that off is a big pickup. Tech 1 bombers inbound. What are they going to pick up, do you think? Probably engineers. It looks like they've been given a area attack command here. So they try to hit everything. Yeah, so that's smart. That's a really nice move. That's the kind of play that you see with people a bit higher rating. They'll figure out that they can kill. They just won't just right-click an engineer. They'll damage other things as well. Seems really simple, but ecoing and doing all your stuff at the same time, that is taxing on the old brain power. So we got some transports coming in here. This is engineers from Delhi. More engineers. So we've got a aggressive drop for this one and another aggressive. So this is going to be a forward naval factory in this area, probably to put more pressure on now that he's done damage. And this one, if it doesn't get scouted, could be some PD, but it looks like there's already plenty of defenses here. This Mongoose push, not going to work out. Microchip has got Tech 2 on his own ACU, and he's elected to... looks like he's elected to just PD up. In response, Silent Bug, pretty big brain, and a Chad in that UEF comm. We didn't really talk about their factions, but the top team is got some Aeon on it and UEF, and the bottom team, only Cybran and Seraphim. So he's got the TML ACU, and TML ACU is very strong because you can simply move to where this TMD is not. See this area that's protected by TMD? All he has to do is to walk to like this location, and suddenly the line of sight allows him to take these mexes. That's why it's strong. It's being able to move around the defenses and pick your targets. Back in the top pond, more Tech 1 bombers. There's so much anti-air now that it's almost certainly diminishing returns, but looks like this drop did not work out, and this drop I missed, but also didn't work out. If those had landed and done damage, I feel like you would have been cooked, but in its current state, it looks like he's actually going to push, and there's really only 2 naval yards here. Delhi up to T2. Silent Bug using that TML. Has Microchip noticed? Nugget says TML com, damn okay. He's going to lose a lot of mexes here because he doesn't have any Tech 2 factory production. This one is upgrading. By the time it gets to produce this Tech 2 engineer, all the mexes are going to be gone. That is awful. What he needs to do is basically make a line of TMDs like this with his comm shadowing it to prevent more damage. Since his ACU is the only Tech 2 build power he has. Oh, the drop did maybe make it. A drop was attempted here, but... really, dude? The Setons. They look like little skinny dudes. Like little betas. Little... They need to go to the gym. They need to go to the gym like the mongoose. So Silent Bug is getting torped by Printer here. It's, he's going to take a lot of damage from that, but at several, he's got 3-star vet with Tech 2, so that's a lot of health and a lot of regen. Don't underestimate, don't sleep on that ACU, the UEF ACU with the bulky building upgrades and some veterancy. They really are quite chonky. 18,200 is more than a nanocom. Gotta be careful. What is Nether Earth up to? Of course, we are wanting Microchip to win. Because he is the lowest rated player. So we've got Dimo here. He's doing a nice scout. Nether Earth actually has pretty decent eco control, except he's stalling E. He's about to get his submarines torped, and Nuggets looks like he has complete air control, so there will be no help coming from Dimo. And Nuggets also going for the Return Revenge TML ACU. While Silent Bug is defended, Nether Earth has not. And I don't think he's noticed it yet either. He hasn't. That's really sad. He's probably worrying about his navy down here, trying to micro this. Yeah, you can see him trying to micro against the tort bombers with his inties. And when he looks back at his base, he's gonna realize it's all gone. That is always a bad feeling. No. Boop. Obviously, as a TML enjoyer, this is glorious. But if I was Nether Earth right now, I'd be very depressed. The true damage of the TML ACU is not the mass killed, or even the veterancy gain. It's actually the morale damage that it does to the enemy team. It literally deals morale damage. Oh, that team! He finally noticed. It messed you up. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the reasons that people upgrade T2. If you're in Rock, pretty good strategy is to upgrade your ACU to T2, because you want to be going T2 on your naval factory first. So you can go Tech 2 on your ACU, and you can build T2 power here. Because he's running this off of Tech 1 power, so it's actually not a great build anyway. Let's be realistic. He's made 0 Tech 2 engineers, and Nuggets potentially, he could kill the naval yard, but he would have to come to like this kind of area to do so, which is dangerous because obviously these destroyers can kill him pretty quick. Now in the middle we've got a Salon push. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to work out too great, buddy. Top pond, what do we got going on? A few little naval skirmishes. Obviously using Tech 1 subs once destroyers have reached the field. Not fantastic. You will lose those pretty quickly. The Cybran one obviously doesn't have AoE damage, but you're still, you know, it's still going to kill them very quickly. Don't want to lose the destroyer though. They are very expensive, and if you're playing a Cybran, you can't shoot backwards because the turret won't rotate through its own ship. So you kind of have to strafe your way backwards, which means retreat is quite difficult. In the bottom pond, Nether Earth is absolutely crushing, despite losing all his mexes. And he needs to be crushing because he's got to do some serious damage here. Because he is so far behind in eco. He is 108 to 196. No. Wait, how is Printer so far behind when he's... That doesn't make any sense to me. Is he e-stalling? No, he just ecoed really badly. Okay, well, looks like Nether Earth gets away with it, despite losing almost every mex. Not really encouraging the way that most of his stuff is AFK, but I guess he's paused a lot of things because he needs to concentrate on rebuilding his bank balance after those he got tariffed to death there by the Nuggets ACU. This is a slight problem for the Seraphim Navy. Turns out destroyers beat engineers in a fight. Who would have guessed? Printer says Microman, please. Where is he posting that? Oh, microchip. He wants help. Nugget's actually in a transport. We can kick this up to +1. The game is fairly stable. So Nugget's in a transport here. Where is he going? He's going to defend against a possible drop, which isn't a bad use of an ACU. But obviously leaving your ACU in these kind of positions can turn on you really quickly. There's a fantastic win here for Nether Earth, who should be miles behind, but somehow is not. The rating of these two is actually very similar. That is a Sparky drop, but it has been pinged out, so luckily he does get them down. And wait, they're UEF, right? Yeah, so they can be killed by torp bombers. But, Printer here is in trouble. the destroyers find his ACU, those torpedoes do big damage, and if he comes out of the water, they're going to primary him with the big cannon. It's a nice overcharge. He needs to dodge like his life depends on it. Not quite enough. I think he actually did a fair bit of damage. So that is going to give the base to Nuggets. So Nether Earth might come to regret that. You don't really want to give a whole base of someone you're already ahead of to the highest rated player on the enemy team. This is one of the issues with full share mode, is that it can de-incentivize at a low to mid tier of the game. Can de-incentivize killing players. But at the top tier of play, you always kill. You always want to kill, just because the APM requirement is significant. This is a great play. They know that they're losing, that air is probably lost forever. So Silent Bug is dropping flax. He probably should build a couple more naval yards. It's something he could do, like this. Because they form a wall against the torpedoes. And the torpedoes actually have to come through. And then he can place the... yeah, okay, so Dimo has got some air. He's got 23. Nuggets, how many have you got? My dude, 33, so that is not close. Dimo can only pick off. They're going to need some cruisers, but obviously if they focus on cruisers... And now, I think Silent Bug should start making some things here. They really want to keep this from going back up. So if he could make some torpedo launchers and some flax here, that would make a huge difference. Unfortunately, he's going to get pushed away by Zooies. Microchip with a huge bank of Tech 1 factories. But that's going to basically keep the pressure off, especially since this is cruisers. And the Aeon cruisers are garbage against floaty stuff. So he needs frigates now. Frigates to deal with this. And ideally some cheap gunships would deal with this as well, because the air is going to have to come over the flags. Silent Bug, he's on a... remember, this is the TML ACU from earlier, so he has the Tech 2 and the gun upgrade we already know about. And oh, it's going to be in the water. That looked like a queued command there. So he's going to be... There's no TMD. So he is in fact going to be deleting some more mexes, which is very good for him. That is a T3 mex there. So, you know, if he had some build assist, he could probably kill the naval HQ, which would be far more impactful. Wow, T3 mex, great value. 12,000 mass killed on that con. Now the Zooey push is being effective. It's pushing the bottom out. Demo sent 12, 14,000. Oh my goodness, he has so much mass in storage. Don't keep big amounts of mass in storage. And if you do, give it to your teammates, okay? There's a lot of mass in storage for some of these players. Nuggets has none. None at all spare. Neither does Microchip actually, but that's because of the Zooies rather than some kind of like insane scaling mechanic he's got. He's just pumping Zooies like crazy. Some good damage with this TML ACU actually. Torp bombers left open. Is it a bait? There's a lot of torp bombers now. Need to keep these cruisers alive. In the south pond, these destroyers need microing. Transport is being sent here to pick up the ACU, so Silent Bug has had enough. I think definitely worthwhile going for the naval yards. Not necessarily just the Tech 2 HQ, but also the support factories. These are expensive. They're like 1,200 mass or something. He gets the HQ. What an absolute monster. Even though there's TMD, Delhi didn't shield his HQ. That is a huge advantage for you here on the top. He will have a chance to actually equalize and push this. But at the bottom, that's a disastrous engage for Team 1. Demo got absolutely jumped. The Navy's getting wrecked. This pond is crushed. There are... Oh, there was even a drop here as well. Nuggets is an absolute monster. Bottom pond completely crushed. But Team 1 is still in it on the top. Getting these mexes to T3 might not even be worth it now, given that the Navy is going to be at the front door very soon. $186 mass. I still feel like he should be producing more Navy than this out on 156 mass. Why are there no... He's Aeon, right? So he can produce flags. Yeah. Floating flags would be more effective. He should actually probably switch to... If he can... Maybe just switch to floating flags and blazes at this point. Like... That's unfortunate. The Zooies landed. Down goes the HQ. In the top pond, there's a pretty big battle going on up here. It's all frigates. The reason it's all frigates is that Delhi lost his naval HQ. He has rebuilt it, and now he's going T3. 27-minute T3 Navy. U is in fact already at T3 and with battleships. Nether Earth says boring game, despite getting demolished. Still getting dropped. He could have had his ACU here, by the way. That would prevent this. Reclaiming the Zooies. Nice move. He does have some flags, but he's just getting torn apart. Microchip still on the pumping T1 units. His allies are asking him to stop. Nuggets is going for the massive secondary airbase. So air factory wise, 12 plus 15. Quick maths. 28. Excuse. Okay, well this might be why Team 1 is slightly behind on air. As you can see from this large radioactive icon, Team 1 has opted to forego the massive air expansion and instead go for a nuke. Now this is an interesting... Is he going to pick them up? He does. Oh, that's such a good pick-off with so few ASF. Demo did well there. That would have probably crippled Silent Bug. He has no defense in his base, only Sam's. That was probably worth the sacrifice. The problem is that now Delhi... Delhi looks like he's been given these, because they're not his faction. He's been given all these torp bombers. And U's cruisers here are not long for this world. Fun fact with the Infinity class cruiser is their missiles actually retarget now, so they're actually really strong. But not strong enough to deal with this. That is mostly scouts, but that's going to get cleaned up. Not so lucky on that one. Nuggets pumping cruisers into the bay. There's a large number of buzzkills. But not enough to prevent everything getting through. And things are actually looking dire for Team 1. I've got to be honest. Let's look at the income. It's even, 1.3 mil each, but map control wise and game development wise, things are looking bad. They have completely lost the bottom pond, and they will soon lose both these bases. In the top pond, they actually are not. So not only are they not making any ground, they're being pushed back. Luckily, they have these SAMs, which I assume are going to get an absolutely insane amount of value very soon. So really, I guess Demo's made the smart play. He can't win air against a player who's gone 2 bases with way more eco. So he's gone for something else, and he's gone for the nuke. And where is he going to drop that nuke? This anti-nuke is not loaded, so that's gonna land right in the middle of here. Microchip, well, he dies to the nuke. Didn't think to move. Just shit. Yeah, accurate. Yeah, I think you could have just walked out of that one, buddy. Let's have a look how much value that got. 46k, so probably not enough to even the game, but that's pretty good. He could have landed it here. And rushing another nuke seems like a good plan. Now the, you know, it's kind of on... Oh, this is going to be a big sad. Losing the tech... Is that Tech 3? Yeah, Tech 3 Naval Yard. Good trade for those Torp bombers. The Zooies are going to be extremely annoying from Nuggets because he can't get rid of them. You can block the TMLs, but you can't get rid of this. And that actually leaves the game in a 2v4. The problem is the two players that are left are the highest rated players. Now Silent Bug is on 2 bases, but he looks to be... Hold on just a second. What is he doing? Silent Bug is producing T3 engineers. He's not spending his mass. Everything over here is idle. He's doing nothing but producing engineers and spending nothing. He has 2 completely idle factories up here. And he's doing absolutely nothing. He's completely AFK. He's literally made 0... Okay, there's 1 move command. So we've got a nuke here. That's going to kill the Omni, T3 PGen, and a bunch of infrastructure. Probably not going to affect the naval production, though, because the power is going to be coming from Nuggets' PGens. What's Nuggets doing on E? Well, he's overflowing 8k, so you can't really throttle his team. Still going to be a good nuke. Still going to be a good nuke. There is no nuke protection. Okay, there's 1 nuke protection. I will mark it. So this red ring, my mod lets me see the range of the anti-nukes, okay? So we'll mark them as soon as the enemy team gets it. That's a decent nuke. That's decent. Picked up a few more things than I thought it might, but missed this one, so... This is very sad. There's just, like... If you're not going to play Silent Bug, give your base to somebody who will. Because this can be defended. It's not quite control K-ing your own base, which is bannable, by the way, but just giving up. Like, because they're only very slightly behind on eco, despite how bad the map looks. It's not actually over yet. The nuke will do good damage. So these Galaxy class battleships are going to do work, and they are actually outnumber the Omens now. So U is outnumbered because he's having to build so much anti-air here, whereas Delhi can just focus on primary damage. Off to the side of the battleship engagement, we've got destroyer fleets engaging. And then through the middle, we've got frigates and disruptive stuff trying to push and absorb fires. This is actually quite a high-level fight here. Both players are, apart from this, just sitting here eating fire for no reason. But that's Silent Bugs. Vulthus from Nuggets, going to tear this base to pieces. So even if he had kind of... you know, a few shields, some flanks. He has the money for it. Like, this could have potentially been held for a while. Remember, if you are losing in a game like this, you want to try to die as slowly as possible. That's something you will learn from playing 2v2 and in other games. Even if you're not playing, FAF exclusively. The main thing I learned from 2v2 StarCraft was that if you are getting dunked on by 2 players in 2v2, it is your job, your duty, your sacred duty to die as slowly and as difficultly as possible, to buy your ally time to build up and do something about it. If you just give up and roll over like this, then you're kind of doing a disservice to your team. Like, one PD here could prevent this. Okay, well, here's the nuke. This anti-nuke not loaded, so I felt like this might have even been more valuable, but so going to be another 5 mexes, not a bad pick-off, which leaves the this nuke here at 122k mass killed. So really, it's the only thing doing any damage. It's literally keeping Team 1 in the game. If only Silent Bug would use his base. That does trigger me. Because you can guarantee if Team 1 don't use it, Nuggets is going to use it. And he's... Why did he build this on the land where it can be killed instead of in the water here? This is a power play. I respect that, Nuggets. Only when he's lost half his base does Silent Bug queue up a PD. He's actually stalling an insane amount of mass. He's down to 82. Teleporter. He's completely given up on the game. He has a nice bunch of cruisers here, though, that will try to protect the battleships. It'd be better if they were, like, here, though. In with the SAMs. It would make them a lot more difficult to deal with. Because right now, look at them, the torp bombers are getting free passes. Just AFK. I can't even cast one game. Not even one game in 6 months. Trying to cast a game for once instead of play. Outrageous. Let me view other people doing it better than me. And another nuke. Don't think... I mean, this one still isn't loaded, so... Like, this is not a bad... Killing off the anti-nuke here is actually not a bad... This is the best place to land the nuke right here now. It looks like it might be going... for the island. Judging... Oh my goodness! Look at the amount of Tech 2 artillery here. That is... outrageous amounts of T2 RT. This is... I'm wrong, basically. This is the best destination for the nuke. That was an incredibly expensive island RT base. And U is crushing. This frigate ball, very annoying. Sorry, excuse my illness. Unfortunately, the frigates don't have any AA, and that is an absolute heck-ton of gunships. It does look like the cruisers were passed over. So Silent Bug is just going to be sitting here. He's given everything away. He's working on teleporter. So chicken finished for Nuggets, but Dimo has completed 2 of his own, along with a few other defenses. And his nuke, it's nearly loaded again. Is this one loaded? No, it isn't. This one, however, is, so... Looks like the best target's now around here somewhere. Anything that kills off those battleships. There's 3 battleships here stuck on each other. Kill the battleships. I wonder if it's worth just making a second nuke at this point. Like, go all in on it, my dude. You're the only thing keeping your team alive. apart from you crushing this pond. But he's got an advantage, right? Because the blue of the sea matches his units. That's like a 15% damage buff. Is this a Salem? Yeah, excellent nuke choice. Good move. So there are Salems here. This one managed it to get all the way over here before it was deleted by an angry chicken. Now, chickens have been given to Silent Bug, but considering he's done nothing with any of his stuff for the last 15 minutes, hopefully he might. No. You give your ally a unit and then you have to ping them to move it because they're not paying attention. That's pain. That is pain. A lot of these battleships kind of were brought back. Down goes the T3HQ, and that's all she wrote for the top pond. So if you can get a foothold here, the game might even equalize. Even the eco's still even. It's not over. It looks awful, but it's not over. Lots of scouting going in here. There's 3 chickens on defense, 2 on attack. More chickens being built in the water, so that's a 3v3 there. Like, we can see this one just get finished. The problem is that there are too many gunships. There really needs to be a couple of factories producing flak here. Doing this airfight is a disastrous idea. There's absolutely no need to throw all of his ASF away like that just before the main engagement happens with the gunships. That's going to be really punishing. And Yu is transitioning to making only missile ships. So he is going for the full siege mode. Very, very sensible. Dimo comes out of his shield. The Volthus fly under the shield, like the naughty Seraphims they are, and detonate the base from within. The whole air grid looks like it's going down. The nuke is at 2.5. Nether Earth is going to die here. He's been primaried. Dimo's going to die. They're going to die at the same time. It's like they died together. They loved each other very much. It's very sad kind of thing happening there. That leaves Silent Bug alone here with just his ACU. He's not really moving his stuff. But there's a massive invasion here of Zooies and chickens. Really annoying to stop with air cover as well. Notha's being spammed. Bricks moving in from Delhi. That's also really annoying to stop. And really it's just you versus Delhi and Nuggets right now. He's he's basically still on the one base. Really, I mean, there's no air base, no mid base. Rock is long gone. It was given up without a fight. So he's really 1v3ing, I would say, right now, which is always going to feel bad. His team kind of folded like a bit of fresh laundry, wet cardboard. He has got a Fat Boy, but that's going to do more damage to his own stuff. Air looks like it's going to be lost, like any air production. Hopefully he doesn't lose the anti-nuke. No, it's gone. Is that a Billy? Yeah. Billying this stuff isn't even effective. It's not even worth it. There's almost no point in making Billy against this kind of army composition. There's not enough value in it, and the Billy doesn't do enough damage to the chickens to make it worth firing anyway. So, Fat Boy GC Chicken versus 3 chickens. Perhaps Silent Bug could throw himself in next time. Maybe not. Looks like if he's retreating, he has some mind that he wants to live, so hopefully he decides to use that life for something. Down here on the bottom side, the mid base is getting deleted. This is the HQ. It looks like the missiles are actually going way past all of the defenses and killing T3MXs over here. Everything is going to die in this kind of area here. Everything. More missile ships being rallied in. The question is, can you hold on long enough? Can he hold on long enough to do something with that navy? Because eco-wise, both teams are declining. It's now 800 to 1k. So both teams have lost 40% of their income in the last 10 minutes or so. As the game is 50 minutes now. We're reaching the end game. A lot of the pieces on the board are being deleted. And it kind of depends on who's got the most left. 900 to 1.1k. There's a lot of chat going on, but I'm not really reading it. Let's have a look what's going on here. What can it... oh my god, this looks awful. So, Silent Bug gets primaried by all the Vulpes. His health disappears immediately. Can the Fat Boy save him? It does! The Fat Boy has done something good for the first time in a FAF game. No, the Fat Boy leaves. Oh. It's pain. It's just pain. To be honest, he AFK'd so many units, he kind of deserved it. And what was a 1v3 anyway is now officially, you know, the 1v3. It is only you left. One man, alone, against the world. We got the battleship star here. Going after the anti-nuke's not bad, but he doesn't have a nuke left, so there's no point in us keeping those marks. Going to be multiple layers of chickens and gunships and Zooies being, you know, like booked up for a big push. We're going to go over the top into the PD, and they're all going to die, because that's how wars are fought. Isn't that right, darling? And it's actually the missile ships and battleships that seem to be holding the beach, which is pretty good going for you. If he can hold the beach with battleships, it might even be worth just bringing these back. I think it takes so long. Maybe it's not. Delhi has made his way up here. The commander goes to the front line. He's got laser, cloak, and T3 engineering. So this is a very bulky boy. Wait, doesn't the gun... Yeah. Here. So he had laser, but no gun. So the range of the laser was half. Look at the amount of missiles these things are spamming out. Oh. Rip everybody's PC from the simulation. The problem is, although they can kill any target, the amount of overkill is so vast that you almost need to manually target them. Like, shift click all of these and then hit shift G so they all fire at one target. Another air engagement over the top. The gunships, there's so many gunships. 155 gunships here. And every few seconds another 20 or so arrive. It's just an overwhelming amount of gunships. Strats coming in to try to snipe this GC. A nuke? Who has a nuke? Well, nuke subs. Okay, well, that is the true late game of Setons Clutch, is nuke subs in each pond trying to find each other. Where on earth is that going? That is a terrible nuke. Potentially that could have killed Delhi if he'd known where Delhi was. There are boys in the pond, which means that for the first time since the start of the game, U is actually ahead on eco, and that's purely through boys. The fat boy is not afraid of 150 gunships, because the fat boy is a complete Chad. Considering this doesn't have an anti-nuke, he could have leveled this base and spammed his own his own invasion with that nuke. I feel like that would have been a much better decision, but we've got a Tsar. Where's this nuke go? Well, this nuke deletes a whole bunch of factories. Tsar finds its way to the air production, and that means that, you know, nobody's going to have any air production at this rate. There's a surprise Tsar. It's probably on power priority. It's actually had the power manually queued up. So 50k mass, and it crashes on some mexes, so well worth it. Gets rid of a lot of air production. The fat boy, well, yeah. They're actually, this is kind of the best situation for them to be in as well. It's actually killing the gunships. It actually killed gunships with its cannons because it's firing at something far away. It actually probably killed 10 times more mass than it ever deserved to, and it was still not worth it. But don't worry, a million more gunships, 175 are well on the way. That looks like it was a HQ. There's a soothsayer down here from Delhi. That's a nice touch. No soothsayer available for Team 1 because they don't have any Cybrans. And there's 5 chickens and 200 gunships alongside an absolute whole bunch of these 30 or so TMLs and a laser comm. MMLs, sorry. So the question is, can Nuggets pull off the push efficiently? Because he's now behind in eco. Believe it or not, this game is very slowly swinging back towards Team 1. Very slowly. Land spam required. Yes, spamming land into this would be extremely effective. He just can't afford anything. But if this attack goes wrong, let's keep an eye on the numbers of gunships. If this attack goes wrong, 200 at the start. 180, 170, 60, 50. And the GCs are getting damaged. 120. He's lost 100 gunships. He's lost 150 gunships. Oh my goodness, is he even going to pull them out? He's not. He did a lot of damage, but that's 200 gunships down the drain there. 3 GCs all on life support. Don't send them in first. That's a disastrous plan. Not the wounded ones. No. That's going to do so much damage. Meanwhile, this Delhi's chasing the GC. Do they even know he's there? I thought GC had Omni, says Microchip. No, it doesn't. It was removed in one of the latest patches. It no longer is a free kill on a Cybran stealth laser comm. No, they're ignoring the GC. The GC actually, and going for the base. They're going to do a lot of damage, but it's going to cost them 3 chickens. The Ion Storm going to try to kill this GC, but probably not going to make it. There are 5 dead chickens in the base. Delhi has been seen. There's 250. There's a 250,000 reclaim in U's base. If he can start to harness that, the amount of battleships and PD here that's going to be wailing on these chickens. He has to dodge just to stay alive. Delhi at 20,000 health. He's taken damage. Meanwhile, well, the missile barrage isn't actually getting anywhere. That's the problem. It's taking some APM, but 1 APM to drag this is like 10 times more efficient than manually targeting defenses. So realistically, Oh, there's no Omni. Pain. Pain. He could have used the eye. Does he have an eye? He does, but the eye is being used on nuggets. So potentially a snipe on nuggets. Now it's outside of nuke range. He can nuke nuggets. Nuggets is not deep in the water. At 22,000 health, he will die to a sea nuke. Delhi might actually not die to a nuke because the sea nuke's still like 30,000 damage, right? And Yu responds with just a angry cat, because I feel like that's where he's at mentally right now. He's playing really well. It's a shame his team kind of caved. Another nuke. Is that going for Delhi? It might have been. Delhi immediately runs. Another nuke down here. Again, these could finish this base and allow for a land invasion. That's a good solid hit. That deleted a lot of units. Is he deliberately fishing for Delhi's ACU here?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
But down here, Nuggets has been picked off by Solaces. The Solaces. The Solace snipe. He must have built them out of here. Well, that only leads Delhi. And Delhi's in a pretty compromised position right here. He moved his ACU up to the top because he thought he was going to win easily. But, now he's kind of in a bit of a dangerous position. The Awasa. Well, he can't scout because he really needs an Omni. So bad. He needs Tech 1 factories everywhere spamming engineers for reclaim. Find ACU. It's going to be a nuke snipe. They've got the Omni on the spy planes. Chicken made it into the base here. Looks like it's going for the TMD. Wonder if it's on TMD priority. But against this many gunships, it'd be better to park it here with some anti-air protection. Well, they've seen the ACU. It's going to be a nuke snipe. Remember, if this ACU dies... Oh, he walked the wrong way. It's going to be really close. You can pull this back from death. Oh my goodness, the damage range was like here. I think he would have died. There comes the transports to pick him up. Oh, he just needs a couple of ASF to snipe, but he's got no E. Oh, it's pain. Poor you. The nuke's going for where he's going. Delhi runs the other way. He tries to escape. Oh, again, the range was like here. He's literally playing nuke dodging simulator right now. He's just dodging nukes left and right. And you know what? If you can dodge a nuke...
You can dodge a ball.
What?
Any other questions?
This HQ is actually in range of over here. That is unbelievably brutal. The range on those mad lads. Delhi is going to get away. That is a big sad, because that means the game is potentially open to a eco fight again, and my boy Yu here is on half the eco as Delhi. But this is an epic 1v1. We are at an hour and 4 minutes on Setons, 2K players. Microchips thinks he never made boys. That's not actually correct. He did actually, in fact, make 17 boys, which is probably half his eco right now. Yeah, some of them are building SAMs, but he needs Tech 1 land factories. You've got to go back to Tech 1 land factories at this point, just for the reclaim. Just for the reclaim. He's getting 1,000 reclaim a second. Now, what can Delhi do about this? Well, there's only a couple of cruisers. He could simply torp this to death. Here come the T3 engineers, and they're coming to build T3 power? Not sure how I feel about that. The game is a bit static. Both players are trying to kind of rescue their economies of what's left, but Yu has got half the eco of his opponent. Every few seconds, more units pour into the holes in his base. It's leaking, and whilst he's trying to recover, these are actually nothing was left. Nothing. That's TMLs from the strategic nuke subs, which are on pause, which might be why he's having eco issues. No, it's a terrible engagement for you. Oof. That is quite terrible. So Delhi's still looking to end this game through a conventional means with units. Both players doing that. There are no more nukes. There are no more game enders. Why is it every time I open my big stupid mouth, I curse myself to, obviously, the opposite thing happening immediately? Delhi is working on a YOLO. This C-Nuke, 100% not worth it against these units here. But it will delete some Zooies, so he's got that going for him. At the top, the chickens are walking into the base. There's a lot of PD here. They are being microed. Forcing your opponent to micro in this situation when they're trying to deal with 1,000 eco is pretty good from Yu's point of view. Yeah, Solaces. Unfortunately, the Solaces cannot kill the Yotha. Bit of an odd move command there. But these chickens are going to do huge damage. He's split them up and they're still going to wreck everything. These poor cruisers are getting absolutely dunked on by the missile ships. What should we prioritize with our expensive unit, guys? The nuke defense? No, we must kill the engineers. Hello? Hello? Nope, it's not interested. Oh, the unit priority stuff is questionable sometimes in FAF, I have to say. My personal bugbear with it is when you have like a bunch of Percivals and they will not target the ACU for love nor money. They will fire at Tech 1 scouts instead of something that will end the game. It's so frustrating. Unfortunately, putting the priority sniping kind of mods that allowed you to manually do a lot of that meant that everyone would just immediately target the ACU and end the game. So it's kind of a payoff for the balance team, whether they want the game to be super snipe heavy or longer. That is a big scout wave. And Delhi has been spotted. Enemy spotted, guys. He's right here. Pinged. Nothing to kill him with. Okay. Well, he's got a transport right next to him is the problem. So the moment you launch, he's gonna get away. What can this GC do? Well, gonna get rid of the E-storage, right? Surely. One tiny beam. Killed everything. If only there was some units building Tech 1 factories instead of these things deleting their own engineers. Delhi's view looks much, much better right now. He's got his ACU fairly safe. Although a couple of ASF, by the way, could end the game if they were to catch him. This is still just frantic panic building from you. He's been literally playing survival for the last half an hour. The things that does to a man's ego and brain. It's not good. I'll tell you that, it's not good. This anti-nuke somehow survived. It has 7 loaded nukes, anti-nukes. But the eco is now probably out of contention. 200 to 900. I feel like Yu has all his chips on the board and he's kind of running out of gas. And Delhi, well, he's still producing lots of new units. The YOLO is done. Didn't miss that. The YOLO is done. What's the first target? There really isn't very much to shoot at, to be honest. Probably here. And eventually going to wear through these. We can put these on. The hunt has begun. That's a lot of torpedo bombers. Delhi, that is 300 torpedo bombers. Okay, well, that is the first target right on the ships. That's painful, but they kind of can't kill anything else at this point anyway. So if he's stalling mass, he should probably just reclaim them. He's reclaiming 3,000 mass a second and still spending it. Here comes the huge scout wave from the aircraft carriers. The torpedoes are going to start killing everything. This is going to be the final plays of the match. It's going to be a desperate snipe attempt. The Solaces get picked off. No. That could have worked. It could have worked. The YOLOs are going to come thick and fast. In response, Yu's going for 2 nukes. He's going 1 here. Well, Delhi's in trouble. The first one's going to land up here. Oh! It was quite literally like here. The damage radius was it. The second one nearly clipped him too. The transport panicked. Oh, it was so close. They launched 2 thinking he would flee, and then what he did was stay still. He outplayed. The 2K plays, he did nothing and outplayed. That's wild. Unfortunately, I don't think... No, he didn't take any damage. I don't think there's much left that you can do. The YOLOs, well... No, it's not going to be any more. That's the counter play. Deletes the anti-nukes. Chickens are still moving in. There's so many torp bombers. Poor you. He's still 3-1 down on eco. Here come the nuke subs. They have almost no damage done, honestly. That's a wild nuke, but it's going to miss here. The ASF are patrolling to try and protect from a late stage torp bomber. You want a draw. It's technically possible for there to be a draw on this map with both ponds and no bases, but... realistically, somebody runs out of morale or brain power or APM before that actually happens. He's back at this little area with more transports. I think we can speed up the poor inevitable destruction of you here. Bless him. He tried really, really hard. And Delhi was inches inches from having his face melted off by a nuclear. You says it's not cast worthy. Well, I will let the people in the comments debate that. It was very close to a hard fought comeback from 5-1 down an eco. That's going to be the snipe. And I suspect he recalled at the last second. Is that what happened? Yes, it is. Okay. Well played, you. Unfortunately, your teammate, Silent Bug in particular, folded. He folded like a piece of wet cardboard. He gave up very, very easily. If he had bought you another 10 minutes of time to maybe have some more APM to put a base here, this game could have gone very differently.
Play us out, royalty-free keyboard cat.